So we're starting on the floor today. Let me just start this. So welcome to our first live back community breathing and tension release. We do different versions of this, starting on the floor, starting in the chair. Today, we're starting sitting on the floor. So we're just coming back into a comfortable position. With your legs, you can cross your feet. You can create a long diamond shape out here, relaxing in the hips. You can also bring your feet apart. You can also make a cushion sit on something. You can fold up some mats or whatever. We're looking for a nice soft release into the front of the hips. And we're also looking for an ability to let go and release through the lower back into the tail of the spine. So that whole sacroiliac back of the hip region that, sometimes can get a little bit congested. So let's just find our sits bones for a moment here. So we're just going to let the breath drop down the spine into the base of the pelvis, into the base of the spine. Close your eyes for a moment and just let the breath release internally, following it down. Feel that you can just softly let go through the tail of your spine as your breath releases down. Feel a sense of awareness come into the back of your body, through the spine, through the tail. Between your shoulder blades is another nice spot. Letting the shoulders relax and just sort of hang on top of out to the sides of the spine. Also feel a sense of breath through the back of the neck. You don't have to do anything positionally. Just feel that you're expanding through the breath, just becoming a little bit aware of that. Allow your jaw and chin to release in. You can even hang your mouth slightly open here. And let's start to bring that internal focus into our bodies, into ourselves, letting go of any external thoughts or tensions. Very gently, we're going to take the palms together. You can gently open your eyes, start drawing the breath up into the palms. Relax through the fingers, feeling a sense of release in between the fingers through the breath. Gently gliding, creating a nice sense of energy, heat, friction. And then we're going to separate the palms, feeling the energy between our palms. Let that energy push your palms open out into the space around you. This is like a nice experimental, free-flowing yawning. So we're breathing from the inside to the outside, just literally exploring all of the space we have around us that we can use to expand into. Feeling a sense of connection from the inside to the outside, and also really encompassing all of that space while feeling supported from the outside to the inside. We want to feel a sense of expanding up above us, down below us, around the sides, and especially behind us. Feel the breath move through the back of the body, helping you feel nice and supported and soft through the joints. Just opening those little crevices with your breathing, letting the breath in, gather energy through the palms outside from the space around you, drawing that energy through the palms over the face, just sensing over the eyes, and exhale, washing that over the face around the eyes. Just a nice sense of spilling, that nice release and calmness over your face. We're going to take our fingertips into the brow bone. Using your exhale, we're going to massage from the inside to the outside with a nice little lift up into the hairline. So we're using our exhale, opening, releasing, calming from the center of the face out. And breathing out. Try to relax through the face as you're carving this open. And then going underneath the eyes into the orbital bone, the sinus cavities, use your index fingers. Breathe out and carve again from the center around and out. Nice little sweep up into the hairline. And exhale through, around, and opening. Nice and relaxed here. Letting your breath flush through any little hold or sense of tightness, sending your breath there. Let's take our fingertips into the forehead and just breathing out, taking a nice little scrubbing up and down. Just moving the surface of the skin, moving the lymph around underneath the skin. And then gently bringing the fingers around to the outside of the eyes, the temples, very, very light. You don't want to press in here, but take a nice little circular motion, just gently moving the skin around there, bringing some energy there. And then continue to glide your fingers down in between the upper and lower jaw. So we're going to relax the jaw open, let the lower jaw just sort of hang a little. You can definitely use stronger massage point. You can palpate through your fingertips in between here. Let yourself explore a little bit, just moving around all around that lower jaw insertion point, maybe a little bit closer to your ears, maybe a little bit lower into the tissues a little bit more down there. And then let's come up around the ears into the scalp, over top of the ears, nice little scrubby lifting motion through the scalp towards the crown of the head, just feeling that decompression around the ears. Work your way around the ears towards the back of your head. So there's that lifting feeling as you breathe through the fingertips, feeling a sense of lengthening up away from the spine. We're making our way all the way back into the neck, the very top of the neck and the top of the spine here. Relax your head a little bit. Find that nice little groove where your occipital is. And we want to massage that space open a little bit. So I'm using a nice little lateral massage side to side. And you're just sort of peeling that tension away from the spine, using your breath when you feel that kind of holds or tightens up. You might find a spot to breathe into. Separate your hands a little bit wider. Fingertips are going to move out towards your ears a little bit. Just getting a nice little breath and release there. Come back in towards the spine. Now I'm using a nice little circular motion through the fingers. Let your head relax back a little, or you want to feel that your neck muscles let go a little bit here as you work your way down the back of the neck, along the sides of the spine, breathing through the fingers, nice and relaxed. We're making our way down into the tops of the shoulders. We're going to take our fingertips back over top of the shoulders, digging into the traps a little bit. Exhale and just peel forward, releasing any stress and tension, and then sweeping it away, shaking it off the fingers. And then going back again. Exhale, you might have a little bit of a different spot you want to target as you sweep, breathing out and letting it go. One more time, going back and exhale, breathing through this and release. So now we want to feel a nice yawn from the dantian, from the low belly, breathing up along the spine. We're going to interlace the fingers, but the breath comes in and up through the spine to release that reach through the arms. So we're not trying to pull the arms and then pull on the spine. We're breathing from the inside and up. We're filtering through that. You can take a nice little wiggling up out of the hips. Feel a sense of separation from the tissues and the bones, releasing through the tail. We're just freeing the spine from the pelvis a little bit, although they're pretty attached, but we're just getting some breath in there. And then just relaxing the tail, relaxing the arms down, sweeping the tail under a little bit, relax the shoulders. Take a nice little circle, breathing around the side. Feel the breath through the sides of the ribs. Relax your shoulders so the elbows just hang around and over. Feel the tail sweep under to make that circle drop forward and around. Find that lengthening through your tail, down through the floor as you breathe through the chest up and over. Exhale, sweeping the tail under, coming down and around. Inhale, finding that long tail. Breathe through the sides of the ribs. and the front, the sternum. Exhale the other side and sweep under. And again, inhale through the side. Nice and relaxed through the shoulder. We're gonna pause up here. Take a new breath and exhale over to the other side. Sweep the tail under, relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Let your breath guide you to wash through the pelvis, wash through the ribs and the chest. Think of those little spaces between the ribs, our intercostal muscles there, that nice webbing we can breathe through and open through the side. Shoulders are massaging. One more time, sweeping forward and around. Inhale through the sides of the ribs and up. Find that breath from their low belly, lifting up along the spine, lifting through the arms. Keep that lift internally. Separate the palms and just float them open. Feeling that nice lift and space through the spine. And then just relax out of that a little bit. So now we're going to take the feet forward. Relax your legs out on the floor. You don't have to keep them close together. You can just go by your hips and your low back. So do that nice little rocking on your sits bones here to release into your hips a little bit more, and that'll help you determine how far apart you want your feet to be. So we're just gonna relax and hang. This could be, it doesn't have to be a big reach. Start with your head. Let your head release. The weight of your head is enough to guide you into the release that you can find in your spine. So we don't want to feel that we're pulling forward away from the spine. This is all about feeling a connection from the center and feeling that we're breathing into the spine to find a release that trickles out through the limbs, the head, any distal points. So we're going to breathe out and try to breathe out through your nose if you can and drop the head. So we're going to exhale, just feeling a sense of letting go through the breath as the head lets go very gently here. It could be just your breath letting go. It doesn't have to be your head if that feels like too much. Feeling a sense of release through the spine. And then just relaxing and hanging. We're going to sway from side to side, letting that washing breath swish from one side to the other. Feel that you're shifting and dragging here. So as this progresses, as we release into one hip more and more, you'll feel that the one hip, the other opposite side might leave the floor a little bit. So we're going to let the breath guide that rocking, breathing and opening through the sides of the ribs, relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the head. Feeling a nice sense of gathering through the low abdomen. We're going to use that low belly lift to move the hip up and back. So we're walking along the floor. We're shifting in the hips, walking on the sits bones backwards and dragging through the leg. So we want to find a nice release of the legs, just shifting nice and heavy through the bones. And then we'll try coming forward. We're going to lift the hip up and drop the leg down and out. So there's a little soft bend in the knee, kind of shuffling feeling there, releasing through the bones, getting that nice release around through the sacrum as we shift through the hips, releasing the legs out. And then just hang forward through the center one more time and let the breath go. Inhale. As you inhale, breathe in and up along the spine through the abdomen. Feel a nice sense of massage, in and up, in and up, in and up. And we're bringing that all the way through to the top. And once we've reached that sense of support and length as much as we can, then we're just going to let it go. So now we have a nice little scoop through the belly, rounding the tail under, soft with the fists here, drumming and breathing into the sacrum. So I'm just kind of drumming around onto my sacroiliac here, getting into all those little crevices. You can go to the outsides of the sacrum a little bit more into your glutes. And if you can, if your shoulders will let you, we're going to breathe up the sides of the spine, peeling away from the spine towards your kidneys, and working back down again. And then we're going to take our fists, dropping down into the sides of the hips here, right into the greater trochanters. Just letting your hands bounce off the side. And then from here, we'll alternate from the back of the hip. So we're gonna flush around the back and forward and down. So we're just releasing, sending any tension and tightness through the breath, down and out through the feet, along the legs. And then with a slightly more open palm here, we're gonna fluff up around the sides of the legs. So we're starting at the hips. We're working down that parallel side line, the IT band lines. So you really wanna let the tissue relax here, let your muscles shake. We really wanna get a nice good shake and release off the bone. Feel that you're kind of sweeping up and picking up your quads away from the IT band line. Working your way all the way down until you've reached right up above your knees. So right at those insertion points above your knees, we're just going to fluff things up around the shape of the knee. So our legs are round. We're going to go over the top to the inside. You can just turn your feet out a little bit. Relax, come back through center, take your fingertips and breathe out, tapping into the kneecaps and patellae. So we want to feel a nice sense of vibration traveling into the joint. Let your breath help you release into that more. And then traveling down the shin bones, using that vibration, waking things up from the inside all the way down to your ankles. And then traveling back up the shins again. And then we're going to lean back a little bit. Use the heels of your hands to flush down and out through the quads, releasing and lengthening. So you want to feel a nice sense of lengthening, elongating these quadricep muscles along the femur bones. So again, our legs are round. So we're going to go a little bit to the outside, over the top, a little bit to the inside. Feeling a nice sense of length there. Sometimes you might find some little lumpy parts. You want to just breathe through that and release through that, moving things with the circulation line here. So we're going to just lean back a little bit, take your heels of your hands. When we lean back, we feel a slight engagement into the hip flexors. We're just going to bounce off of that a little bit. Breathing, you might have to go a little bit side. We're all a little bit different in here. It depends on how your legs are hanging. And then flush down one more time. Breathing through the quads, releasing down and out. Keep going down to the lower leg, that nice fluffy type motion again. So along the outside of the shin bones and the calves here, these are our peroneals. We're just kind of bouncing off, releasing, getting some sort of awareness and energy through there. Very important for our knee alignment in this area. And then we're gonna relax the legs, let the feet glide in, knees hang out to the side, hang out to the side. We're not trying to stretch here, we're not trying to push them down. We're gonna use the tops of the palms, leaning back and flush down through the inner thigh lines. So we wanna release from the hips, releasing and lengthening and just feeling a sense of letting this area go so it doesn't hold on or compensate for other things we're trying to do. We're going to flush down the inner thigh line towards the knees. So we're bringing that lower towards the insides of the knees. And then we're going to slightly flex through the heels to slightly engage the calves, not super strong, but just enough. Take a deep breath and drop your fists into your calves. So we want to feel a nice lateral shake through the calves, breathing out. And if if the big drop is too much, you can absolutely go smaller and lighter with more repetition here. So just breathing into that release there. Focus on the lower portion of your calf, where your Achilles tendon, your soleus comes through. We want to kind of move down there, waking that up a little bit. And then we're going to take the hands back behind us, let the legs come out in front, relaxing on the floor. Give a nice good shake out here. You can shake through your hips, move in your shoulders, make sure you're not holding any tension, but make sure you're not holding your breath. And then we'll take one knee up, inhale. We're going to start the exhale, a nice little coiling, gathering energy through the abdomen, and then let it go. So we want to feel a connection build right before the release. So we feel a sense of stability through the spine, through the pelvis and the spine before we let the leg go, so we can get more space into the hip. And again, finding that gathering to let it go. And again. Now relax the legs, just let them hang, just let the bones release, let the muscles let go. We're gonna gather that breath again through the low abdomen. We're gonna do a quick tap and release. Tap and let go. So of course the letting go part is a little bit more important. We don't wanna hold on to that. We just wanna shift in the bones. Quick, and again. Go light if you feel like you have something sticking out there in the way that's a little tender. And then we're going to bring the feet in. Let's roll through the feet. Start to breathe through the feet and the ankles, rolling around, releasing through the heels, softening up through the feet. We're going to relax our feet on the floor. Take your fingers to massage into that inside heel underneath the ankle bone here, into the adduction area of the foot. So we really want to kind of massage and open things up, all those little tendons and ligaments that cross through here, getting some nice space and freedom, also becoming aware of this inside area of the foot. This is where we like to sort of sink down in our posture, our standing posture. We're going to continue underneath the sole of the foot. So really nice deep massage, especially into those arches. So you can find a point of your own. We're going to sort of explore all around, focus on that middle of the foot to really open that up and mush things around. Breathing through that. You can take some nice sort of flushing motion from the heel through up into the metatarsals and out through the toes. So you're giving some nice length and traction. Sometimes I like to trace along each line, each metatarsal line into each toe. It gets a little bit more difficult out towards your pinky toes though. And then let's sweep underneath the balls of the feet with our palms. Use your fingers to spread your toes apart. Relax your feet as you're spreading the toes apart. Just breathe into this space between your toes. You're just holding that space open, trying not to grab in the ball of your foot, trying to not to grab into the arches of your feet. Gently release out of that. We're going to come around and we're going to lift up nice and tall, nice and long out of the hip. The sits bone might want to come up. We're going to try to drop it down to feel the length of the spine through the hip, down and out into the toes, and then just come around and scissor your toes apart, breathing into them, giving a nice little lengthening pull, and then going into the next set. So finding a sense of breathing from the spine down through the leg, out through the toes. You can give these nice little pinches at the ends of your toes just to stimulate into that nerve line a little bit more. Spreading the toes out nice and wide on the floor, like a nice little froggy foot there. And then just feeling that space in between them, lifting the heel up, nice massage on top of the foot, releasing and opening through the arch here. Waking that up, this is where we want to point our foot from. And then coming around to the other side. So feel a nice breath, lifting up, nice little compression into the front of the hip, drop that sitting bone down, open the space from the spine through the hip, and then come over into the toes and breathe, just scissoring and moving them apart, feeling a sense of release in between the metatarsals, pulling out through the toes. So we're just giving some nice traction and length, breathing from the spine all the way down and out through the leg, through the feet, getting some nice space in between the toes, nice and wide. Feel your foot relax as you're doing this. You want to let the foot go. Take those little pinches, waking up the nerve lines on either side of the toes here. Then lifting the heels up, massaging on top of the foot, just waking up through the arches, around the ankles here. And then we're going to lean back into our palms. So we know where our sits bones are because we were rocking on them before. We're going to gather the sits bones together. Feel that they gather and lengthen down the back of the legs. That's going to give you a nice curl into your tail. So resting back into the palms, the sits bones are gonna squeeze the legs together. We're gonna exhale, breathe from the pelvis down and out through the feet, walk through the toes. Use your toes to pull your heels forward. So we're sort of breathing through the soles of the feet along the floor and just feeling, you don't wanna feel your toes overpower because that can send you into a little cramp too quickly. So we want to feel that the sole of the foot, that middle arch area, expands and melts and opens into the floor. When you get too far away, reverse the toes, go under first. Breathe that sole of your foot into the floor to glide back and over. So check out each little toe line and make sure that you're tractioning evenly through them. And release, breathing through the sole back. Let's go forward one more time. Exhale and walk. And feel a connection from your center down and out through the feet and walk. And again, exhale and walk. Relax the legs, shake them out on the floor again. So now we're going to bring the feet back in to whichever comfortable position you prefer, like from before. So we're gonna just find the sits bones again, feel the breath, take a nice massage up into the sides of the ribs, around the abdomen, let the breath in, and exhale, releasing through here. So we're just feeling a sense, as we inhale, these lateral muscles expand and open, right? So they engage. We want to just really become aware and use those, and just dropping into the entire massage throughout our abdomen. We're making our way down into the front of the hips, into the lymph here, just breathing and moving that around a little bit, just sort of filtering through and releasing, and then coming up right into the center of our chest. So the breastbone, we're just going to exhale and do a little scrubby up and down here. Releasing any tension that we're unintentionally holding there. And then taking nice long strokes from the ribs down through into your pelvis, go up around under the sides of the ribs. Feeling a nice release under that side lower rib, and then around to the other side from underneath, waking up the nerves, waking up the organs. And then just relaxing the arms, relaxing the shoulders, hanging them down. And then take your opposite palm into the front of the other shoulder. Relax your head over, massaging, moving the lymph around here. You can move around, really explore here. We really want to get that mushy area moving, but also feel, you might feel some more tight areas that are closer into the front of the shoulder, the front deltoid, up around your collarbone. That can get a little bit held. And then just relaxing, moving over to the other side. Relax this arm as much as you can. Don't worry about how far your head's hanging over. Just let it go wherever it wants to release into, even if it's not so much. Just start with the mushy parts here, moving the lymph around, breathing into that. And then work your way into some more crevice areas, right into that front little deltoid where the rotator cuff likes to get held, and then up maybe towards the clavicle, that insertion point there. And then just relaxing out of that. So we're going to let the breath release through the palm, exhale, up and over the shoulder, and breathing out. Nice and loose with the hand, letting the palm drop up and over the top of the shoulder. Feel the breath travel through your palm into your upper back, your upper ribs, your lungs are up there. Breathing through that, releasing, becoming aware of your upper back. One more time. And then relax. Let the tail release under. We're finding the breath from inside up along the spine. So breathe along the spine as you inhale, lifting up. Find that space internally. Then we're going to exhale. Just let the arms go. And release. Tail releases under. Breath comes in. So you're only lengthening from inside, 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 making space, keeping that as much as you can. One more time, in and up. Letting it build, letting it deepen, letting it move up and release. Shaking it out, releasing your breath, relaxing your head, feeling that release through the neck, the shoulders, the elbows, a nice little shake off the bone again. Feeling that release from the back of your body, from the back of your ribs here. We want to get a nice fuzzy feeling all the way down in the hands and fingers. And then from here, relaxing the shoulders, we're going to go through each finger, just gently pulling away, using the breath. Feel the breath come from the sternum and out, opening through the arms. So feel that you have some space underneath your armpits here, those little puffs of air that free up your chest. You can also think of the breath through the solar plexus area, just breathing up and open a little bit. If that feels very closed, let the shoulders release. So we're just giving those little pinches, the little nerve lines that feed up into the neck, and then taking the other side, releasing. You might have to wiggle a little bit to get it free, and using the breath. Feeling a sense of opening wide with your breath. So the breath leads you. The breath initiates from the inside and out. So we don't have any force pulling against. Just follow that open pathway. And then interlacing the fingers, just compressing and releasing, breathing into the palms. You can kind of shear a little forward and back if you like, getting some space and openness in between that webbing of the hands. And then relaxing the wrists, relaxing the shoulders. Let your breath guide you. Release, exhale as you glide the wrists around. Soft, letting go. Let that fluidity come through, momentum without any restriction. Let your breath help you find that when it feels stuck. And then, of course, reversing it. Maybe a little more breath to help you find the release here. Let yourself start small and let it build. The more you let go, the more that will come through. And then just opening the hands apart. Inhale from the center of the palm open. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, open from the center. Exhale, pull the fingers in through the center. And then inhale. So it's not the fingers pulling the palm, it's the palm opening the fingers, the palm drawing the fingers in. So that connection through the center, we're going to build on that from the pelvis and the base of the spine. Let the breath come in to expand the body through and up. Opening wide. We're going to exhale, using the breath, scooping into the spine, squeezing the breath out through the fingertips, the toes, the eyes, all those distal points compressing and breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, breathing out, so you don't have any more breath left. Let the breath in and open, very light, expanding, just feeling that space. And we're going to compress again, squeeze out anything negative, physical, emotional, thinking of what you don't need anymore, using your breath to push that out, cleansing it, making space for something new. Let the breath in, feeling that floating open. One more time, squeezing it out, exhale. Letting the breath expand you out. And then this time we're gonna gather that light new energy. We're still using an exhale, but we're drawing that new energy through the fingertips and toes, using the breath to pull that into our center, enveloping it. And then just releasing anything that was holding on left. Let's come into our ears, relaxing the jaw and chin. Use your fingertips to just massage and trace along the insides of the ears, all along those inner lines, all those wonderful acupressure points. And then relaxing the jaw, very gently pulling the ears away from the head, going around the back. And then finding that nice lift right through the top of the spine, the occipital. This time we're going to take our hands back, holding the back of your head. So your head's relaxing into your palms a bit. That helps your jaw and chin let go. Use the breath through the back of your head, resting into your palms. Your palms are going to take a nice little sweep up, helping you feel some length through the neck, from the spine. Continue the palms to sweep up and out through the crown of the head, letting the arms release down and around here. We're just going to use our eyes to look out into the space around us as we feel the breath coordinate from the spine. So you're just literally scanning the room here. You're just using your eyes to look around the room, feeling a sense of internal connection and length coming up and out through the eyes. Just to the side, take a new breath, and then change to the other side. Feeling a sense of length and awareness from the spine out through the eyes. Very light and gentle, not trying to look very intently, we're just balancing everything, very relaxed. Now, as we change again, let your vision expand so you can see through the walls out, like you're looking out onto a really beautiful horizon, through the ocean or the mountains, feeling nice and open through your vision. And again, feeling the breath lengthen you inside gently, sense of connection from the base of the spine, all the way up through and out through the eyes. And then reverse, that can come back in again too. And then let the breath bring your eyes back through center. Keeping everything nice and open through the neck and the jaw. Take a deep breath, pull the breath up internally as you inhale and squeeze the eyes closed. Just holding it there for a moment, and then you exhale, open the eyes. And then just taking the fingers and sweep, blink any extra little cobwebs away around the face and eyes, those energetic cobwebs releasing. And then let's take the fingertips throughout the skull, breathing and dropping and tapping all around the skull, releasing, feeling that nice vibration again, a nice little sweeping up through the back of the neck into the head, feeling that sense of length again, a little bit more vigorously this time. And then releasing through the jaw and chin. We're going to start off slower here and let it build. I just don't want to shake everyone's head right away. So we're going to breathe and look, breathe and look. So there's a spot. You can work only with this spot in mind, and you can also increase the momentum by releasing your breath. So let your jaw and chin go. Feel connected into the back of your head. Try not to rely on your front vision. Feel your quote unquote back vision through the nape of your neck into the head. You're going to lose your spot and just let that go. Let the jaw go. And then let it slow down very gently. So you can just practice that. Everyone might not feel okay to just let the top turn right away, but eventually that's a good thing to find, a nice release. So let's come around onto our hands and knees. We're going to open up through the legs as we work our way up off the floor. So we're just finding that nice release, a little tiny scoop through the low belly here, not pulling too much, but tuck your toes under as you reach your heel back. We're trying to feel the breath from the abdomen, from the spine, glide down and back through the heel. So that heel gliding is your entryway to breathe through the leg from the spine. And then bring that leg back in, a little engagement through the abdomen to collect. Tucking the other toes under, let your tail glide back to your heel. Breathe from the spine down through that foot and heel. Abdomen brings this leg back in. And again, exhale. There's a nice little lift through the abdomen. Make sure your tail is not pulling way up to the ceiling. Feel the breath from the lumbar area travel through the sacrum and down. Sometimes we get caught in the pelvis, right? It's easy to get caught in the pelvis because it's so big and heavy and all that stuff. So feel the breath from the spine higher, travel through the pelvis and out, right? So that nice following the psoas line idea. One more time on each side. The breath internally through the spine glides you back. Good. And change one more time. And light tuck under. Feel the breath, feel their connection, help you release and open. And then coming back. Excellent. So now from here, if you feel comfortable, tuck the toes under and push your tail back and down over towards the floor, this little kind of hanging squat position. If this isn't great, for whatever reason, knees, feet, we're going to come up into a bit of a halfway hang, dropping your tail. So you want to feel that the lumbar through the sacrum rounds down towards the floor. So it's nice and supported. You can have a nice little scoot through the abdomen there. And the knees, you take some pressure off the knees. So this little scoop up lifts us out of the joints a little so that we can release through the joints and just breathe and hang here. Then we're just going to, if you want to have something like a pillow or a block here to hang onto, you can. But we're just going to relax and hang the body over the legs. Give a little shake out here. Now we're going to bend one knee and exhale, shifting your weight and breathing into the straight leg, hip, and heel. Just nice and gently at first, changing. Bend the other knee so that your body weight shifts into the straight leg, and you give a nice little scoop of your abdomen as you exhale and change. So this can be very light. It doesn't have to be really deeply engaged. Just getting that weight shift is really nice into the hip from the back. And then if you feel that you can give a little more, you can scoop and curl your head up to look at that hip. Relax and change. So let the breath into your spine really guide you, whether in either version. So it doesn't matter which one you're getting. They're both trying to connect from the spine and filter through the body. One more time, and changing, and exhale. Feel that downward tail to heel. And then just hanging back through center, relaxing over the legs. Find some weight into your heels a bit. Find that nice scoop through the belly, lifting up to the ceiling. As you inhale, lift your stomach up to the ceiling, but pull your tail down, down, down. So we have that nice loop, in and up, down, down, down. Keep revolving through that. Do not let it go. Let that bring you all the way through upright into standing, if you can. Right, so that's a really nice way to engage through. So I'm just going to do a moment of standing and breathing here, just to bring us into that connection while we're standing from the floor. So we're going to use a sipping breath. We want to feel a sense of openness from the low back through the sacrum, down and out through the heels, through the back of the body. So we're bringing our fingertips, and your feet come in a position close together, but not forced. You want to feel that it really comes from the length of the low back through the hips and into the feet. Wherever that ends up being for you is where you should be. So our fingertips are going to come down into the low belly, the dantian here. So we want to feel a response as we sip breath in and up through the mouth. Think of that breath traveling up through the roof of your mouth, through the crown of your head. But the breath comes from where our fingertips are. So there's a sense of lifting out of the pelvis, out of the bones of the pelvis, with that breath coordination. The breath is helping us engage and lift and gather. So we're preparing for whatever we're going to do, right? So it's a really nice preparation. So fingertips there. Let yourself find this internally without feeling you have to be really strong. Like it doesn't have to be loud. It might be little until it builds for you. It might take a few times. So we're going to sip in and up. There's just a little space that comes through, a little bit more length. Now we're going to exhale, try to maintain that length with bending your knees a little. Then we let the knees release and lengthen. The breath brings us in and up again, sipping. And exhale, lifting in and up. Little tiny softening in the knees. And again, sipping in and up. And keeping it as you exhale. We're still initiating through this breath. We're going to let the arms respond to float around and up this time. So breath comes in and up to float the arms up. Internally. And exhale, keep that lift inside as you release knees and elbows forward, around, and down. Breath brings you in and up again. Feeling the energy of the tail down and out along the floor behind you. Keeping that lift inside as you exhale. Releasing forward and down. One more time. Breath brings you up into length. Finding the space, just letting the shoulder blades glide down around the back of the ribs. Exhale, lifting inside. Feeling that energy still traveling up through the spine as the bones get a nice little release down and out. And then just relaxing the arms, feel the breath from this lower sternum, solar plexus area. We're going to inhale through that, open that to circle back and around. And again, inhale, breathe into that space to open the shoulders and the chest. One more time, inhale. And just letting that go and relax. You can do a little walk out here, but we're just going to let that stuff there for today. Okay, so thank you very much. Once I'm just going to stop this one side here. I don't know how to stop it, but okay, here we go. Thank you. Okay, and I will stop this. So many moving.